don't hear of any problems like this.
Okay.
You don't hear of issues between the manager and players. There will be at times, because if a player's not playing, you're not going to be happy. But it's how you manage that. And I think one of the ways Klopp is clever and Slott's doing the same is he cultivated a squad ethos. So Klopp drummed it into his players that whether you start or not, you've got a part to play. You're as important as somebody who plays every game, even if you're only coming on. Because he was a great advocate of having the 5 subs as well, so we could give players more game time and keep the squad fresh. And if you went back and looked through the Klopp era, the number of goals, important goals scored by substitutes, is a record. Certainly, I know there are more subs now, but the number of times a Divock Origi, for instance, would come on. Never going to be a first team player starting every week for Liverpool when you've got Firmino, Mane and Salah. He'd come on and make an impact.
Yeah.
He'd come on and score a last minute winner against Everton in the Merseyside derby. He came on and scored in the Champions League final. And that's because it was drummed into him that even though you're not playing every week, you're just as important as the guys who are playing every week. And he played his part in successes. And without those players, without those squads now, you can't achieve in football, because the game's a lot quicker, the intensity is a lot harder, it's more physically demanding than it's ever been, and you have to have the squad and make the most of it to be successful. But that will only happen if the players buy into it, and even when they're not playing, they're happy.
Yeah. There's an old saying about your culture, and if you don't control your culture, it will control you.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like with some of those managers, they've actually set out to build that environment and then put the pieces in place, rather than coming in with the existing culture and trying to change it, it can be problematic.
Yeah.
And a lot of that seems to centre around, as culture does, it's about the people and it's about relationships. And some of those managers, like Klopp, who was quite charismatic, could build those relationships between people. And if you didn't buy into it, then obviously your future didn't lay there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened, and I think he also built a relationship between the crowd again.
Okay.
I think he realised that he could harness Anfield to make it a fortress, because Liverpool had some good times under Brendan Rodgers, but under the last season they were vulnerable at Anfield. A team like Carlisle United took us to penalties in the League Cup, for example, and could have easily won on penalties. You just don't know. So a little bit of that was lacking. At times, I think Klopp realised the power of Anfield, and right at the start, it's funny talking about Origi. He scored a last-minute equaliser into West Brom to get a 2-2 draw, struggling West Brom. So not a great result on paper. But at the end of the game, Klopp made all his players go down to the Kop, start lifting their arms up like they do in German football, as if they just won something. And he got ridiculed, he got a lot of stick, but the crowd bought into it.
Right.
And the message he was sending was, if you stay behind us, we were never out of the game. So it might be the 92nd, 93rd, 94th, whatever minute, and we're not winning. Keep with us, and we'll get something. And if you go from that moment, that would have been 2015 to now 2025. Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool captain now, he's been at the club since 2018. In that time, he has lost 3 league games at Anfield.
Wow.
In 8 years. And that just shows that the Anfield has become a fortress, because I think the fans were made to believe it can be a fortress. They bought into that culture that the manager set up. You back us, we'll bring you silverware. And it's always hard to quantify how important fans are. Yeah. Everybody's always said that, a fan doesn't put the ball in the net, they're just there. But you can create an aura, you can create a fear factor, and Anfield has that.
And I think that's something that we're really trying to nail with this podcast series, whether it's sport or not. What is the secret sauce?